Welcome to Miller Industries, the world's largest manufacturer of towing and recovery equipment. From small wreckers to carrier decks to heavy-duty rotators, Miller Industries does it all. It's the heavy-duty units, however, that are the most visible and some would argue the most popular. They're built in what Miller calls the Large Business Unit, or LBU.
Hi, I'm John Hawkins, and I want to welcome you to the world's largest manufacturer of towing and recovery equipment. Today we're going to take you to some 300,000 square feet of manufacturing facility in which we manufacture not only the medium duty, but the large wreckers here in Chattanooga.
The facility measures 300,000 square feet and is devoted just to LBU. At Miller Industries, quality is paramount. The company even has an ISO rating of 9001 to prove it. This means that Miller Industries recognizes its responsibility as a designer and manufacturer and constantly strives to improve quality in all areas. This high level of quality is extremely apparent in LBU. The division has multiple departments and each one plays a critical role. First up, purchasing. They coordinate with the vendors who supply the components that Miller doesn't build, such as valves or winches. These components are stored in Miller's 40,000 square foot warehouse. In production control, they make sure that the in-house welded components and the purchased parts flow through the plant at the proper time. Then there's weld, which marks the beginning of the manufacturing process. First, a weld kit is delivered to one of 60 weld stations. These kits include all the metal pieces necessary to weld a component, from a boom to a subframe.
Today, Miller employs a staff of over 15 structural engineers. What you're seeing here are individual pieces of certain PSI content and design to put the optimum amount of strength, but leaving the weight out of the unit.
Everything in the kits is designed by one of Miller's structural engineers. They design components that can take the optimum amount of strain without compromising the overall weight of the unit.
So this is a strain gauge test we're running today. Basically all that happens is we start pulling the truck against this immovable object. As the boom comes down, it loads up this leg. You're able to see this leg start to bow out this way as the steel flexes. We're going to take data from these strain gauges and measure the stress at various points on the boom.
The welders take these parts and put them in fixtures, or jigs, to ensure a uniform fit. Then, after the components are tacked up, they're removed for finish welding by a certified welder or one of the robotic welders. The LBU has 2 robots to help streamline the weld process. They operate non-stop and provide high-quality welds with consistent heat penetration throughout.
You can see where the robot is taking that long weld, placing that weld onto the weldment support, coming in here, taking your bosses, laying it into the chamfer bosses, and you can see where the robot is yet to run here in the tacked up position.
The next step is metal finish. Here, welded parts are suspended from an overhead crane that supports up to 6,000 pounds and are moved through the media blast and then into the paint booth. The media blast removes any rust, oils, or imperfections in the metal so the paint will adhere better. In the paint booth, an epoxy primer is applied to the inside and outside of each welded component. These procedures are designed to help the parts hold up in a rugged outdoor environment. Assembly comes next. This is where painted welded components are mated with vendor-supplied pieces. This is where the unit starts to come to life. At Miller Industries, the Century and Vulcan units roll down the same assembly line. Each has its own character, its own design factors, but the men who assemble the Century products also install Vulcan, and Miller quality is in every brand. The next order of business is toolbox wiring and pack-out. Here, the completed center section takes its first real step toward becoming your recovery unit. Aluminum toolboxes are custom-made with lighting packages and other options. They also get a one-piece modular wire harness with a 5-year warranty. Although Miller does ship units, the vast majority of heavy-duty wreckers are installed at the Chattanooga, Tennessee facility. Installers with as much as 30 years experience prep the cab and chassis first. Then, the center section is mounted, tool compartments are temporarily installed and it's sent to a local paint shop. Once completed, the unit returns to Miller for final dress out, which includes installing additional lights and accessories. Buying a large wrecker is a significant investment. That's why Miller insists that every heavy-duty unit is inspected and re-inspected throughout the manufacturing process. They want your heavy-duty wrecker to leave the factory exactly the way you ordered it. This is a process that has been and continues to be fine-tuned. Miller Industries is not just building a unit. They're creating a custom machine for you that has character, personality, and soul. And this is what sets Miller Industries apart from the competition. Miller Industries, the world leader in towing and recovery equipment.
Miller Industries, the world's largest manufacturer of towing and recovery equipment.